You think you've heard all the reasons? Nah, you haven't heard this one.
This woman filed for a divorce from her husband because her husband committed the very heavy crime of...
You're wondering, what is it about this woman's divorce makes me say you haven't heard everything? It's because this is going to be one of the worst reasons you've ever heard. You have to wonder when the person who was on the other end, the clerk at his desk at the Home Affairs office or whatever offices they file for the divorces and marriage and what were they thinking when they heard this reason?
I'm divorcing my husband because he booed Taylor Swift at the Super Bowl, and I still don't think he believes me, to be honest, but he might want to start, because I just filed my paperwork at the courthouse, and you can see right here, the date of separation is this year's Super Bowl. I'm not just doing this because of the action of booing. I am doing this because of everything that it represents in our relationship. I have loved Taylor Allison Swift since I was 12 years old. My husband even likes her too. Like, he'll put on her music when we're cooking together. He has a favorite song, it's Girl at Home. But we were at the Super Bowl. It was me, him, and 5 of his buddies. And when they put Taylor up on the Jumbotron, all of his buddies started booing, and my husband joined in. And that just tells me everything I need to know about that man, because he didn't care that that would hurt my feelings. He just wanted to fit in with his boys. He didn't even care that that's not even how he actually feels. He just like wanted to look cool, I guess. And that's not a man. That's a boy. And when you see that, you can't really unsee it. So I'm divorcing him. Thankfully, I have a prenup. I'll be retaining all of my assets as well as the assets that I inherited. With peace and love, he probably will not be returning to the Super Bowl anytime soon. So that's one less booer for you, Taylor. I love you.
In this life, you don't have to do anything to be guilty of something. You don't. You do not. And once you start to realize those reasons, you kind of like, you see, sometimes, the most favorite of many people's question is, why does God allow evil things to happen to good people? They have questions like that. And with this type of stories, that's where you see, you don't need to do anything for evil to happen. You realize that people get to make decisions, and those particular decisions that they make sometimes don't have to make sense. This young lady thought she was making sense. She thought she was like bringing the facts down. She is going to be solid for Taylor Swift. She has now vowed herself to a relationship that is not real. Okay? She's vowed herself to a relationship that's not real and discarded a relationship that is real, that's personal, a life partner that she was going to walk with throughout her life. Now, I fear when I hear reasons like this, genius ideas, genius reasons like this, people can make silly decisions. That's when you kind of like bring back the idea of, free will. When people ask those questions most generally, why does God allow evil to if God is real, why does he allow evil to run in the world? It's because people will sometimes give themselves too much credit. Humans are not the most reliable. Not the most reliable. Divorced her husband because she was going to feel bad about how Taylor Swift was going to feel. And that's when you realize, wait a minute. There are certain things we can't protect people from. I can guard my mouth concerning what I say, but I can't protect them from what other people say. But then at the same time, we ought to practice grace to a certain level. She is divorcing her husband, life partner, to proclaim her love to Taylor Swift, who probably does not even know. Taylor Swift, there's the same woman who was declaring that there's a certain area of love that feels like witchcraft. The same Taylor Swift that was on a performance stage performing rituals, a satanic circle ritual in her performance. That's the Taylor Swift that she's vowing herself to. So first you see the responsibility when it comes to individual decisions, and you see, if you have that question, what did I do for God to have warranted that I should suffer such an ill from another person? You don't have to do anything. There is proof. You do not have to do a single thing. Some time ago, I think about a year or two ago, there was a lady that went viral. She had been married for over 30 years. She started seeing all these girls doing all kinds of nonsense in the world. And she decided, you know what? I'm going to divorce my husband. What's the point of being married for all these years and being faithful? I'm wasting away.
Do you want to become a miserable old woman? I don't think any of us do. You've seen those women out there. The women that are nattering and nagging their husbands, that are bitchy, that aren't nice, that seem to be so unhappy, and we think, oh God, I hope I'm never one of those miserable old women. That happens from raising a family, working, and then all of a sudden we're in our 50s and 60s and we have nothing. We don't have a life. We don't have a life separate from our family or separate from our husband. And so we resent everybody. I did it. Here I am on my new bed, my princess bed. It's amazing. I feel like a different person already. I feel like I can do whatever I want, and I'm not responsible for anybody anymore but me.
She wanted to divorce her husband just because of that. Nothing had happened. Nothing had happened. She just wanted to leave because there might be something exciting later on.
I don't know. Things aren't going that great. I didn't know. I guess I did know. I would have this really strong reaction physically. Trauma reaction to finding out that my estranged husband has been having a new relationship.
She absolutely regretted a decision. Those small decisions give you the picture. Humans sometimes cannot be reliable. Remember Jonah? Jonah is a perfect depiction of that. Jonah is given a specific message. Jonah, go preach to these people. They repent. God won't destroy their city. He goes, he preaches. When they repent and God doesn't destroy their city, Jonah gets angry. Humans, even if you have clear instructions. So now that we've gotten clear of that, we've gotten clarity on that, some of the evils that we see on the world is because people make silly decisions. Just silly decisions. Secondly, you don't have to contribute anything for a person to make a silly decision. And you see, once you start to understand that, once you understand, it's not God that makes people do these things. It's that people just in general, because they are not reliable, because they can make silly decisions. It opens you for forgiveness. It opens you that you can understand what kind of an environment you are open to here in this world. This is why when people bring works into salvation, I wonder, do you understand how silly you are? I'm not talking about someone else. You know how silly you are. Do you know how crazy decisions you can make? Are you aware how far you would go to get your way, which might be evil even at that? If God had to wait for you to get it right, you're never going to get it right. The heart of man is terribly wicked. Who can know it? Look at what our fellow creature, look at what she decided. Imagine, she's altered her entire life. She didn't just divorce her husband and kept it moving. She divorced her husband and she made a video and she posted it with pride. Every single man looks at that and says, if I meet this woman, I must avoid her. And so now every single person who meets this girl will know her as the Taylor Swift girl. Only God knows what next Taylor Swift decides that she's going to break up. She's going to break a relationship over. Broke a relationship over Taylor Swift. Nothing happened in her personal life. No. You don't need a reason for that. Taylor Swift. Hey, humans. Humans are some very shocking creatures. Shocking creatures. If you haven't realized it, you might want to look at yourself. Given a chance, you can be a wicked person. You, not this is you. Given a chance, you can be wicked. And that is why we become saved. We become saved because we realize that's us. We make silly decisions.